That's my pop. Let's go!
Oh, sorry. Wrong game. Hello there, YouTube. It has been a long time coming, but we are back with a bear's guide to hunting. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. It has been. It's been years. I'm in another country now. I have gone through university. I have a job. I just But I had to come back. I had to come back and do this and continue this series because it was so much fun. I loved doing this. It was fantastic. So we're back. We're doing this. I'm excited. This should be a lot of fun. So today we hunt the Diablos. It is pretty much the Monoblos, but with an extra horn and a really, really bad temper. You don't need much for him. Bring 3 cool drinks. That way you can take the 2 from the chest and leave with a profit. I'm bringing 10 well-done steaks because why not? It's not like I'm going to find them out in the wild. And they're always useful to have if the hunt goes on longer than you expect. All the extra paintballs I own. Not that I remember to use any of them. I bring 4 sonic bombs, and the chest gives you 2 as well. If I remember to use them, hopefully I do. And then 20 whetstones, and whatever they'll give me from the chest. As far as equipment is pretty simple. We've got the Hermitor helm that I was using at the end of last season, many moons ago. And I'm also using the Blango Decimator because Diablos, one of the most important things to remember about Diablos, he's weak to ice. And the reason I've got a longsword is because he's very, very tall. And the best way I've found to cut off his tail is to have a longsword. Greatsword works, but I find that it takes so long to swing the greatsword. He'll typically have moved, and I will miss the tail and I'll hit his wing or something. So longsword is definitely good. Plus, there's a lot of sharpness, and you kind of want that against him. So yeah. And then Hermitor armor, as before, it has defense jewels. Just because it's pretty defensive, but we want a little more out of it, so we can use it for a little longer. But enough chatting. Let's get into this. Let's do this. Alright, let us... Is he in here? No, of course he ain't. Alright, he could be over here. And so, everybody's favorite game, where's Diablos? Where is the monster? Coming back, I will say, me and my wife, we've been playing through Monster Hunter Rise. And coming back to this, it's weird. I thought it would be really difficult. I thought I'd be trying to wire bug my way everywhere, trying to use all the different moves and styles for the sword, but actually it's honestly like riding a bike. It came to me pretty quickly. Really should have picked up the map, but oh well. See how well I remember this area, shall we? So one of the most important things to remember about Diablos is how fast he is. He, especially when enraged. Let's just go through here. He's probably in here. He's incredibly fast. So you want to make sure that you aren't getting caught up in combos too often. You want to make sure that you're always open to be able to roll out of the way, or if you bring a greatsword, to be able to block. I wouldn't recommend bringing anything like a sword and shield and dual swords. You can, but you're going to be a lot less likely to cut the tail off if that's what you want to do. Okay, where is he? This little tip, if you wave in the direction of the balloon, he shows you where the monster is. It's really useful. It's honestly one of the most useful things I found out after finishing the game for the first time. It's very short, but it gives you an idea of the right direction to run in. He's in every area, but you can only do it once a quest. So as long as you can see the sky, you can wave to him and find Diablos. There he is. First things first. This one is bigger than the one I just fought. He is huge. Alright, so thing he's going to do a lot of. He's going to do a lot of roaring when he becomes enraged. But when he's not enraged, he's going to do a lot of digging. And what you want to do is you want to focus on the area he dug down, because the way it works is he will sit underground where he dug down, and then he'll move in a straight line and pop out somewhere else, or move in a straight line to another area. It's going to be a little harder to show that in this area, but hey, this is where he wants to fight, so this is where we will fight. Yeah, I mean, see this? Even with a longsword, he's so big, I can barely reach his tail. Alright, so he's going to charge a lot. It's his favorite move. And he can do one of two finishes at the end of a charge. He can continue charging all the way through, like you aren't even there. Or, and see, there you go, tail's gone already. Or he can charge and then stop and swing his head upwards. My beef is not with you. Please leave me alone. So yeah, the thing about the charge, when he comes up, I'll show it to you. You want to try to stay either directly in the center or just to the right or left of one of his legs. Because the hitbox is so that if he doesn't clip you with his wings, see that? I was able to roll through the legs. If he doesn't clip you with his wings, you should be fine. Sorry about that. That was a pretty bad, pretty bad angle, and I apologize. It's kind of hard with these guys wandering around to keep a good angle on him, to be honest. So yeah, he's dug down. He's going to stay right there, right where I'm staring, and then you'll see a plume of dust move in a straight line, either towards me or the cat, or a new area. So what you want to do is you just kind of want to circle it, and just wait for him to pop up. Because once he starts moving, he doesn't change direction underground. So if you just keep running in a circle, odds are he'll miss you with that. When he gets into this kind of cycle, it's very difficult to actually hit him, ever. But it does give you time to heal, to kind of deal with any other issues in the area that you might want to deal with. So yeah, he went in a straight line to my cat again. So we can just kind of catch up and miss everything. The tail swipe, one of the main reasons you want to cut the tail off is so that the tail swipe becomes pretty ineffective. However, when he does the circle, when he spins around like that, the hitbox for that is very generous in his favor. So he's almost always going to hit you with that if you are... Okay. I couldn't see what I was doing, so I figured I'd get hit. So one thing you can do is you can run and just roll. So when you're running, if you keep running and you press roll, you will do a running jump, which kind of sucks. Oh god, that was perfect timing. If you yeah, so if you're running and there's a monster in the area and he sees you, then when you jump, you will do a kind of a leap of faith, I think it's called in the game. Just heal real quick. But if you're running and just before you roll, you stop running and you just hit that, you'll roll forwards. The roll, I find, is a lot easier to recover from in a fight, and it's also, you can control it better. So I can be running in this direction and then I can just roll over this way. Whereas if I do a leap of faith, it's pretty much usually in the direction you're running in. So learning that trick of running, like here for example, I can just roll and then I can turn around and chase after him. Because if I was doing a leap of faith, I would be almost never able to keep up with him in a big area like this. I'm not running in a circle around him right now because I want to drag him back into the area. I hate fighting monsters in the openings to other areas because they'll throw me into those other areas more often than not. And it's really annoying. Also, another tip as well, if you're staying between his legs, he's pretty much not going to hit you with the charge. The hitbox seems to be on his horns and on his face, basically. And there isn't really a hitbox between his legs for the charge. So if you stay roughly around here, you'll be fine. As long as he doesn't hip check or do the spin. Thank you for that. So yeah, one of the most annoying things about him is that he can do a lot of invisible damage. Along the same lines as Plesioth, along the same lines as Monoblos, obviously. Since they're of the same rough species. Rough genus, I guess. And so, especially when he's enraged, you really want to watch out for that. Because you'll be fighting, and everything will be going fine, and then you'll look, and you're at half health. And it's always right before he charges into you that you realize you're at half health. And then you're dead. Okay, I rolled into that instead of away from it. See there, he's doing the treadmilling, the classic treadmilling that these large creatures like to do. Yeah, you'll notice there's a lot of like up and down and running after Diablos, and that's pretty normal. It can definitely make the fight vary in length. Sometimes you can beat him within 10-15 minutes with this setup, and sometimes it will take 30, just because you couldn't really ever get a hit on him. Especially if in these bigger areas, it is very difficult to get a hit on him. So I'm going to try and do the roll. See? Pretty much, just make sure that you will be past his foot when you finish the roll, and you'll be fine. He won't really hit you. Alright, so he's now enraged. You can see the black smoke pouring from his mouth. That means he's very upset with me. Can't imagine why. So everything gets faster now. Everything gets quicker. He's also more likely to sit there and spam his roar. So if... Typically, you aren't going to have access to earplugs at this point, but if you're fighting a high-rank Diablos, having access to earplugs is a great idea. Because when he spams the roar, and he sits there and just roars over and over again, you can use that to get a few free hits in. It's a very, very useful tactic. This early, though, you're not really going to have earplugs. I think you can get them if you're wanting to spend the time, but you're not likely to have them. So you're just going to have to sit there and wait for him to calm down. But honestly, Diablos, it looks hectic. It looks like there's a lot going on, especially when you actually get to hit him. But it's pretty. Honestly, it's a pretty relaxing fight. There's very, very much a rhythm to it. There's very much kind of a run, dodge, hit him in the legs, or completely miss his legs. I mean, I guess apparently that's what I'm doing. Yeah, you see how his tail did not connect with me there at all. The hitbox is incredibly generous for that one. Yeah, most often you won't need a running jump to dodge that. Alright, let's see. What else is there about him? I mean, like I said, it's not the most complicated fight, very much in the same vein as Monoblos. Oh, the Sonic Bomb, actually, that's a fair thing to remember. Doesn't work when he's enraged. And the only time it will work against him is when he's underground. So when he goes underground, if you want kind of get him back out. Is he enraged right now? He is not. Alright, so now he's back out. It basically works the same as kind of a pitfall trap. You don't want to hit him from this angle because you're just going to bounce off him for the rest of your life, apparently. So now we know. So yeah, it basically works like a mini pitfall trap. He'll get stuck in the sand, and you can get a few free hits in, which is pretty useful. It's going back to the small area or the area in the north? Area in the north, I think. No, small area. God damn it. Alright, let's sharpen real quick. Probably getting pretty low. Feels weird not to have a sharpness gauge in just the picture. You have to just kind of estimate what your sharpness is. If anyone who's watching this game hasn't played Rise or even World, if you've played this in your childhood and haven't gone back to it, I would recommend it a lot. There's a lot of really, really good improvements to the series in World and Rise. Obviously, you would hope. Not. Yeah, we just released the same game, actually. We liked that one. We figured we could just do it again. Alright, so I'm able to stagger him a bit here, which is nice. Yeah, I was standing right between his legs for that charge. He didn't get me with it, because there's no hitbox there. Also, I'm sure I've mentioned this in previous episodes, but they were a while ago, so forgive me if I repeat myself. Also, that's something I do a lot anyway. But, long swords, what you want to do is build up that red gauge that's ticking down right now, and then pretty much keep it up. Keep it full, because you get an attack boost out of it. And I found that just keeping that bar full and having that attack boost permanently is more often better than the short burst of attacks you can do. Sometimes it's worth doing, like if you want to stagger him. Ah, I nearly made that. Sometimes it's worth doing if you want to stagger an opponent, but honestly, I think it's better to just have that attack boost and use that. I think I'm probably gonna... Yeah, I do need to repaintball him. Oh, and then there is one more thing, actually. Can we get him to do it here? Come at me. No, not like that. So, I guess I'll explain it first and then see if we can get him to do it. Basically, you can do the same thing to him that you can to Tigrex. You can get his horns stuck in the wall. And it's a pretty good way to get in some free damage. If he's willing to charge and not dig, which is very unlikely. Okay, he didn't do the... I think he has to run through instead of do the flick of his head to be able to get stuck in it. But yeah, he'll get stuck in here and he'll get really upset, and you can get quite a few free hits in, which is really nice. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can paintball him so I don't lose him. Yeah, so when he's enraged, he'll typically go into one of two kind of little cycles. He'll either dig, charge, and then dig again, or he will roar incessantly. One of the two. It's unfortunate he keeps choosing these two areas to fight in, because the area over there, the area to the north through that cave, is actually really good to fight him in, because it's got a pillar you can use. You can stand on one side of the pillar, and he's on the other. He'll charge into it, and he'll almost always get stuck. It is really, really useful. But, alas, we don't get that. Also, another good longsword tip: use the triangle and circle move that flings you backwards. Really, really good for getting you either into position or away from attacks. Like right here, I could use it to get away from his legs if I wasn't being attacked by a fish and my cat. That was bad. Him being huge, like the size of this one is a huge disadvantage, no pun intended. Like the last one I fought in preparation for this, just to make sure I still remembered all of the controls and how the game works, was about 2/3 the size of this one, and it was nice. I could hit everything. I could get around him nice and easily, but this guy is just so huge that I spend a lot of my time just missing hits. I hate the fish. I do. I hate him. Alright, roar number 1. Will he do a second? No, no he won't. He's actually being quite nice today. Good. Alright, he just went unenraged and he became enraged again. That can be a pretty good indicator he's low on health. The more he's more likely to get enraged. He will also limp when he's on pretty much lethal. You can capture him then. A little note about capturing Diablos though. He will run over pit traps when he's enraged. And if he digs underneath them, he will destroy the trap, no matter what it is. So you want to make sure that he runs over it and not digs through it. Because he will break it. He will break it and you will feel sad. I need to eat. I doubt he's going to let me chow down on some steak right now. Highly doubt that. Alright, he's getting staggered more and more often, which is a good sign. He's getting enraged again. I just guess I'm just going to bounce off of him here. The other thing about... ow. The other thing about the keeping the bar full is I think you get a little sharpness boost. I think you're less likely to bounce off monsters when you have that spirit gauge full. The red gauge there. But don't quote me on that. That might just be... the same misconception I had when I was a kid, and I thought that if you press AB, the Pokemon is more likely to be captured. So, I don't know. It could just be that wishful thinking that I've been privy to in my history. All right, you coming to me? No? It was a nice little pirouette you did, but it didn't really help me kill you now, did it? All right, he's coming to me. I did a leap of faith there because when he's enraged, the other thing about him being enraged is because he's faster, he is more likely to track you if you try to dodge him, if you try to just run to the side and do a roll. So you kind of need to get good at gauging whether he's going to hit you or not, which is pretty good advice for any monster in this game, I guess. Oh, he caught me at the end of that. That's not good. So, one annoying thing about roars in this game is that it's timer based. So when they hit you with the roar is when the animation for your character reacting to it starts. So if you are getting back up off the floor and he's halfway through his roar animation and you get hit by it, you'll be stuck in the ow my ears hurt animation for an extra second than you would normally, which is really bad. That's why I recommend if you ever have Sword and Shield or Greatsword access to any kind of blocking, block rules all the time. Because if you get stuck in that kind of moment, which is usually when they're enraged, it's when they start roaring a lot, it's usually going to end badly for you. He loves these two areas today, huh? Alright, he's getting pretty close though, so I don't think this will take much longer. I don't really have much else to say about him either. I mean, he has the hip check, which he hasn't done very much here. And now he's back enraged again. Like I said, good sign and a bad one. Good because he's dying, bad because he could very easily kill me. This armor's pretty good, but Enraged Diablos, if he hits you just right, will do a lot of damage. I'm gonna stay here. Alright, man, come on. I know I can kill you. Done it 3 or 4 times now in this so far. There we go. Also, if you want to skip the death animation, hit select. That way you can start carving and not waste any time. I can't see a thing. Did I get hit? I did now. If you wouldn't mind, I'm carving here. Why is it all of the local endemic life leave you alone until the big thing's dead, and then they get upset with you? It's like, yeah, no, we'll stay out of this while the big guy's still here. Oh, he's dead. Oh, well, cool. My time to shine then. Alright, I didn't end up breaking the horn. I was more focused on talking, I guess. My apologies. You can actually break his horn. I think it's usually the left one that breaks when you do it. And that will show up in the rewards, typically. You can break his wings as well. They'll become kind of tattered. I think the claw breaks as well. Claw breaks there. You can obviously chop off his tail. I don't think you can break the back. I don't think I ever have. But you might be able to with a bow. If you can, I'll put it in the description as Bear's Broken Brain, which I'm glad is making a reappearance. Alright, Spine is the more rarer one, and the Fang. Fangs are pretty good to have as well. A lot of items need that. Thank you for that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this this comeback episode. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully you learned something about Diablos, and it will help make this fight a little easier, because it isn't terrible, but it can definitely get out of hand very quickly, as you kind of saw. But just bring a long weapon. Like I said, longsword's typically best, because it swings fast enough to hit him on the tail. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.